The widow and her love. Sidergu is handling his new duties with characteristic aplomb. Oh, thank the gods, an adult. Riel has been spending a lot of time with Mist, keeping him company and getting to know him and so forth. Not that there's much to know, he won't talk about his home or his past, doesn't seem to have any interest or skills beyond conjuring elaborate illusions derived from memories. I have no idea how he does it either. And more importantly, I'm not even sure how we could take back the ether he stole. We may have no choice but to agree to his terms, unless you're content to carry half a soul crystal. I can hear you whispering, you know. Mist means well, and Lavenza and I are willing to help him. Why aren't you? I didn't say I wasn't willing. I'm still here, aren't I? Right then. We found no one suitable for the boy's needs here. Rather than return to Ishgard, I say we try somewhere new. Let's head to Tailfeather. So is this just going to end up being a, oh, I don't need to, a kind of, you know, tour back through Heavensward? This place, too, has seen its share of sadness. A prisoner of the High Houses. Interesting. Life here is not easy, but it is fulfilling all the same. That said, the hunters had no personal tales of profound tragedy to share. They did, however, tell me of an outsider recently brought here from Falcon's Nest. A prisoner, actually. A woman named Lodi. She's to atone for her crimes through hard labor, but the proctor has been zealous. He berates her constantly, and every day she bears fresh bruises. Ah, Ishgardian justice, I know it well. If this woman is performing various chores for the hunters, then it should not be hard to find her. Come, let us look around. This is the place, isn't it? Insolent child, you are not to speak unless spoken to. Is that clear? Yes, my lord. Pray forgive me my impudence. Do not play me for a fool. Your sins are beyond forgiveness. Sir Emmerich and his noble brethren may think you worthy of mercy, but I have seen your kind before. A swift death is more than you deserve. A swift death is more than that bastard deserves. I can't imagine what she did to deserve that kind of treatment. Yeah, I think yeah, okay. That's what I got in the middle of reading that, I kind of blanked out because I was thinking, is that the chick that drugged us? You know, and then got shot up with arrows. You know her, Lavenza? Seven hells, she's the one that led the protest at Falcon's Nest? The one that nearly put an end to the peace conference? And she poisoned you? Well, that explains a lot. Though, if you of all people can find it in your heart to forgive her, or at least forsake bloody revenge, then it's hard to look at this and call it justice. Her crimes were born of desperation and despair for the husband she lost. Perhaps if the two of them were to meet again. Don't be foolish. She knows he's dead. You'll only cause her pain. Pain is all that is left to her, don't you see? How they cry in the dark, how they mourn their dead, how it festers and spreads and corrupts them thoroughly. We have seen it. We have made it. Fine, fine, do what you will. Conjure her husband. But do not come crying to me when she curses you for your kindness. I'll not give the hunters cause to turn their bows on us either. Riel, take Mist in the woods and hide. Lavenza and I will free the girl. Rather, I will free the girl. She would know you at once and might misunderstand your intentions. We cannot risk the commotion. As for your part, no one is truly outside Halone's grace, don't you think? Confront the proctor, make him see the error of his ways. If he is a good man, then he may yet repent of his wicked ways. If he refuses, then that is his choice to make, and he will have to accept the consequences of his actions. Doubly so if he bears steel, yes? Bah, the very sight of you fills me with murderous rage. See to your duties. I must needs cleanse myself of these impure thoughts through communion with nature. Perhaps a spot of fishing is in order. Now's our chance. Well, it doesn't seem hard to... like he's... It's not exactly like he's stealing her away. She's off on her own now, but... maybe she needs some, protection if she's making her way out of the village. But it's really cool that, you have a job quest that is hearkening back to the main scenario. Who are you? Why do you disturb me? A concerned adventurer who objects to my treatment of a criminal? Ha! If only you knew her sins. She should have been thrown into witch drop. Alas, the Lord Speaker in his boundless wisdom and mercy demanded that we spare the woman's life. But rest assured, I will see that her every waking moment is filled with misery and scorn. You presume to judge me, a man of the church? I will not be cowed by your threats. The Fury guide and protect me. The Fury guide and protect me. Dude, you're really gonna fight me? And he's got goons as well. There's your boys. What are you gonna do now? You will die. Okay. So it'll be interesting to see what the lady has to say about me popping back up. Yeah, it's an interesting... I mean, it's unfortunately a very real thing, where it's like the whole purpose is to rehabilitate, yet at the same time, like the overseers or whatever have no actual intention of rehabilitation. I'm not sure we should be here. It's begun. We can but watch and see what happens. Okay, I was wondering who that was, but it's her husband. Look, we have brought them together. We have made her whole. How she smiles, how her eyes sparkle, how beautiful this happiness. Please tell me he at least told her, like, this is an illusion. Or it's magic or whatever. But he's not going to stick around. Every night I dream of your face. And did we know that her name was Loudy in the MSQ? I don't recall. I could have tried to stop you from going back to the front. Could have begged and screamed and cursed, but I didn't. Because I knew you'd listen. And even if you'd forgive me for it one day, I never would. The arrow may have missed my heart, but I've been dead for a long time. All of this is just waiting. That's what I'd tell you, Stace, if I could. And then you'd say, you can't stay stuck in that moment, Loudy. You've got to go on. You've got to forgive yourself. You've got to let me go. But I won't. I won't. If I do, who'll be left to remember the man you were? The soldier, the husband. I'm the only one who knows, and it's my duty to hold on to that as long as I can. Yeah, hold on to it, but it doesn't mean you have to forsake everything else. That's what I'd tell him if he were here, but he's not. He'll never come home to me. So please, put an end to this, whatever this witchcraft is. Yeah. We were bound to run into somebody who would know it's not real and doesn't really appreciate it. Lavenza Shark, was this all you're doing? No, it was mine. Forgive me, I thought that... I wanted only to... I was wrong. I see that now. You have every right to be upset. It's all right, boy. It is. I appreciate your kindness, even if it was misguided. You too, Lavenza. I blamed you for a lot of things. Hated you so much because I don't know. Because you came back and Stace didn't, maybe. Because you weren't him. They say the war's over now, but it never ends for people like you, does it? What will you say? There's always something worth fighting for. Everything ends. Oh, man. That's a grimmer response. I'll leave the edgelord stuff to Sid Urgu. I know what you are. I heard the stories as a child. Of the ones with neither shield nor sigil, champions of the weak and the helpless, undeterred by the law of man or God. I couldn't help you any more than I could have stopped Stace from walking out the door that day. Or I couldn't stop you. Did I say help? I couldn't stop you any more than I could have stopped Stace from walking out the door that day. So, fight, damn you. Fight if that's what you want. Just don't squander the time in between. There's never enough. Right. I suppose I owe it to him to try and make the most of what I've got left too. So I will. Take care and thank you. She's gone. Reclaim your ether, Lavenza. It brought up like an interesting question there that I think has been brought up before, but it's something I always think about is like, what is the end for the Warrior of Light? When does it stop? When can the Warrior of Light just live a normal life? The Proctor's punishments were nothing compared to her own guilt. I did try to warn the boy. Forgive me, I was a fool. The abyss is yours, as it has always been. Consume it. As the aether flows into your soul crystal once more, from the depths of the fading abyss, you hear a whisper. Forgive me. Forgive me. In the end, I could not make her whole. So much pain, so much loss, how it fills my heart and overflows. Maybe it is indeed beyond us. Maybe it is not in our nature. You've still got 3 more chances, don't you? There's no need to be so bloody melodramatic, at least not out here. We should go back to Tailfeather. Your words did more for her than my illusion. She is still a good person, and so are you. I pray you both remember. See, that to me seems like some foreshadowing. You know, you're both still good person, or good people. I pray you remember that. I keep thinking of, I don't know, there's almost a sadness that comes over me when I think, you know, anytime characters ask your character, like, what's next for you, what do you want out of life, anything like that, it's, because it kind of feels like our character has no control over that. Fate has dictated, and we just, you know, go where the river takes us or whatever. They found comfort in seeing the dead. They had so much to say to them, but I don't know what I could say to her. She knew it was false, yet it still had power over her. Can there be truth in a lie? And perhaps salvation as well? On to the next, I would say. But Miss looks to be in no state to continue. Which means we'll be staying here for a time. Taking in the fresh country air, me and my little ones. For what it's worth, I think that woman is better for what we did. Or at least as good as anyone can be after what she's been through. Okay, so same. The Orphans and the Broken Blade. Sidurgu is about to make a suggestion he will immediately regret. Lavenza. I imagine you'd like to get back to it, and so would I. Unfortunately, Mist remains inconsolable. His failure with Laudy, such as it was, weighs on his mind. He's afraid of repeating the same mistake with others. And so, for lack of a better idea, I'm thinking it's time to pay another visit to those furry little shites in the churning mists. But, oh, what? But why? I can't imagine Mist helping a Moogle. My master used to take me to places like Mogholm when the city became too much. Wait, what? But I thought, like, the Churning Mist was a place that, like, no man had set foot in like 1,000 years. So how did they just go to Mogholm? The fresh air, the quiet, the isolation. And yes, I have not forgotten how the Mughals helped Riel and me when we were moody and brooding. Though I would argue that we reconciled in spite of their intervention, not because of it. Whatever you say, Sid. Whatever you say. Don't worry, I haven't given up yet. How could I? You wouldn't. I think it's just a matter of finding people more like the first woman that could actually believe that they're alive, but you could also convince that they can't see that person anymore. It's just like a quick kind of reunion or whatever. Because obviously in the case of Laudy, like, she knew her husband was dead, so she knew this had to be a trick. Not a trick, but an illusion. Oh, you know Moggy? Trouble follows me wherever I go. Kapo. It's good to see you again, Moggy. I hope you and your friends haven't been getting into too much trouble. Where's the kid? I guess he's just gonna walk up as we... Right then. Water under the bridge. No need for palms to be torn from heads and shoved down throats. Yet. Our mist is taking in the sights, I believe. Why don't you join him? Oh, he's off. The wind in your hair, the sun on your face. Here you can immerse yourself in the beauty and the calm and forget the horrors. Almost. How far we have come, you and I. The others, they hesitate. But you understand the obligation, the duty, the need for atonement. What will you say? For what do you need to atone? What happened to you here? We have lost so much. So many friends and loved ones. So many moments. We thought we could keep and preserve them, but we are left with anguish in the end. Time strips us of even this bitter remainder if we let it. But I cannot. This pain, this sadness, it is mine to bear, mine alone. This I understand now. Oh God, all these characters that it's like, I need to do this alone. And of course, every single time, they eventually come to the realization that no, they don't. Their grief will be mine, and in return I will give them peace. But who and when and where, that is the question. Even we have our limits. Who did I lose? Everyone. No one. We have always been apart, have we not? Okay, is this like another part of me or something? Perhaps one day you will understand, and then you will share my loathing and contempt. Oh, forgive me, I have been away from the others too long. Sid will be worried. We must return to them at once. Mysteries upon mysteries, man, with these Dark Knight quests. Is Sid upset? I'm not sure, but I think I heard him grinding his teeth. Did you and Mist have time to talk? Kapopo? Is this another one of your friends? There you are. I trust Mist had ample time to reflect upon his mistake. I have. I am ready to resume my search for those I might help with my power. Difficult though it may be, I do not intend to give up. Glad to hear it. In that case, there's no need to remain here any longer. I say we leave this accursed place and never return. Don't be silly, Sid. I say we show Miss more of the churning mist. We did come all this way, you know. Come on. There's a place I'd like to show you. Now wait just a goddamn minute. You can't go running off on your own like that. You'll get eaten by a three-headed gobu. Real? Riel! Bugger me with a bleeding... Come on. They cannot have gone far. Watch out for belligerent Dravinians and mischievous Mughals. Okay. You just sat there, listened to what just happened, and you just repeat the same thing. Okay, so where are we? Okay, not too far out. Not the palm, I'm too young to capo. Okay. Don't give me that look. If the little bastards didn't want their heads caved in, they shouldn't have tried to sneak up on me. Besides, they're still alive. You ought to give me credit for holding back. Anyway, I lost sight of the children. I'm not sure which way they went. I'll head north and circle back towards Asa. You head straightways there. Silly Mughals. That's pretty much like polar opposites. Mughals and edgelords. Not necessarily like inherent enemies, but certainly not ones to get along well. Oh, got ourselves a fight. Riel tells me she has rather fond memories of this place. You should have seen the look on Sid's face when the Mughal started singing and dancing. He was utterly speechless. Why were the Mughals singing and dancing again? It was stupid, really, but I guess you could say that Sid had become obsessed with trying to live up to his master's example, and for all the wrong reasons. He lost his family when he was younger than me. Sir Umpain took care of him and Frey, but then they died too. So it's just the two of us now. He was angry and short-sighted, but now... Well, he's still both those things, but not as much as before. So that's progress, I suppose. Sid's master was very dear to him, wasn't he? Oh, thank the gods. You shouldn't have run off like that. Do you wish to see him again? Your master? Huh? Where's this coming from? What has Riel been telling you? I mean, there's much I wish I could have asked him before he passed, but... Wait, no. Don't you dare, you little shite. Oh, no. Too late. Oh, Sid. Charming as ever, I see. No, that's the... I was thinking, is that the Shadowbringer's armor? No way. No, that's the Stormblood armor. I'm pretty sure. Master! And this must be Frey's successor. A worthy one, I have no doubt. My name is Umpain, and it is an honor and pleasure to meet you, Lavenza. You did well to come so far on your own before meeting Sid. And together, you have both grown so much, in mind and body and soul, as Dark Knights and as true heroes. There was a time when I was hailed as a hero too, for deeds meritorious in the defense of Ishgard, and in the name of the Fury. A brave and true temple knight I was, slayer of countless Dravinians, a commander beloved of and respected by his men. They would follow me into the seventh hell, and indeed, that is where I led them. Time and time again, they would fall, and I would earn the accolades, and then they would give me more green boys with dreams of glory. Green boys with red blood spilled on white snow, again and again and again. And then, one day, I couldn't remember the first one's face. I had forgotten the face of the first boy who gave his life for me. Oof. That was the day I left the Temple Knights. Yeah, that's some existential shit right there. I know that tale by heart. But not the tale of what came after. Why a goodly man with titles and wealth, a man who could have lived out his days in quiet comfort, why that man chose instead to walk the path, and to once more accept 2 children into his care. You asked me that very question long ago, and I told you that one day you would understand, when you were older and wiser and stronger. Shall we put you to the proof, Cid, and see if today is that day? You always were fond of your tests. Now, don't be cross. You've only yourself to blame. These are your memories, remember? Ha, but of course you do. Yeah, this is good. So far, they're doing a good job of making sure that, like, nothing the person says, you know, is outside of, you know, the memories or whatever of the person they come from. The point is, deep down, you wanted this. And while there's no substitute for the genuine article, you could do a lot worse. So do me this honor, all of you. One last dance with the dead. Show me the man you have become. Sidurgru of the Obsidian Heart. So I have a feeling that the last quest, the kid's going to do that with me. Do this same thing. And I'll fight myself again. Hold nothing back, you 3. Show me your all. You heard the man, Lavenza, with me. Dude can definitely take a beating. Is that the best you can do? Maybe this will help. They're going after Riel. Help her, Lavenza. I wish they'd do more like boss fights and so forth where the boss can actually take damage from their own AoE. Or maybe you swore an oath, Cid, did you not? What will happen if you fail to uphold it? I can't break free. Save Riel, Lavenza. Or a boss fight where you've got like multiple people you're fighting. And they can actually damage each other, and it's all about like baiting them into their own attacks. They would just be cool. I'm not aware of any like that in this. Death awaits those who walk this path alone, Cid. You never were one to hold back. Cid, are you alright? Hold on. We're still here, old man. What else have you got? Man, a lot of dialogue. Or at least it just feels like a lot while you're in the middle of combat. Never take your eyes off your charge, Sid. Remember. God damn it, not again. Lavenza, help Riel. Ooh. That had to hurt. If it wasn't for Lavenza, you'd be dead by now. God, he's right. There's one more I owe you. You thrice damned son of a grah. Sid, speak to me, Sid. Oh, well done, you two. You have exceeded all expectations. Consider this your reward. I am still your opponent. Defend yourself. Magnificent, Lavenza. Frey would be proud. Well done, Lavenza. Well done indeed. Frey would be proud to know that you carry on his legacy and mine. I keep forgetting that Frey is a dude, because I'm so used to referring to them as a woman, you know, in those early quests. And Sid, my boy, my beloved boy, you nearly had me. Oh, spare me your sympathy, you bloody shade. I lost, and that's the end of it. You kept Riel and Lavenza out of harm's way, Sid. You did well. Learn to shut up and take the compliment. You asked me once why I chose to walk the path, why I chose to look after you and Frey, even though deep down you already knew. Deep down you already know, but since I lost, I owe you the answer from my lips. I was angry. Angry with the Temple Knights. Angry with myself. Angry with this twisted world where good men die for nothing. I was seeking justice for my boys and forgiveness for my sins. I saved lives and punished the wicked, and for a time that was enough. But nothing lasts forever, does it? And a man ought to have a legacy. I failed my boys as a Temple Knight, but you two were my second chance. I would teach you everything I knew, everything I learned from my mistakes, so you wouldn't have to make them. I would send you out into the world to do great things, and maybe it would all balance out. Well, that's all I have to say about that. You know what comes next, don't you? Though I suppose I ought to give you a word of advice before I disappear in a puff of smoke. I am your predecessor's master, after all. People like us will never know peace. Every moment brings us closer to death. Those of our enemies, our loved ones, and yes, our very own. Yes, it's stuff like that that's just... It just makes me think on the Warrior of Light and their life, and it just all seems very grim. The fear of death is what keeps most men alive. That dread, that desperation to escape the inevitable, if only for a little longer. But we are not like most men. We have seen what awaits us beyond the abyss. We have tasted that despair and bathed in that oblivion. We have wept rivers for our dead and cursed the gods for their cruelty. This is our sword and our strength, and that is why you may one day stand above us all. May the gods have mercy on your soul. Take care, Sid. Be nicer to the girl, and try to be less of a chocobo's arse. Oh, for the love of... They weren't supposed to fight. Well, but I mean, for some people, that there is comfort in that. Sid's in a bad way. I think Serampane may have overdone it a bit. For an illusion, that bastard hit awfully hard. Reclaim your aether so we can leave. I may need to visit a healer. In the depths of the abyss, a flame lingers. Right, there we go. As the ether flows into your soul crystal once more, from the depths of the fading abyss, you hear a whisper. Clearly can't make it out, though. Yeah. Good, good. Glad to see it all worked out in the end. As for you, miss, I distinctly recall telling you not to do that. Forgive me. Had I known it would come to violence, I... Don't you dare start pouting. I'm annoyed, aye, and sore all over. But it's nothing that won't heal with time. All I ask is that you promise not to do it again without warning and consent. Memories can be powerful and painful in more ways than one. That said, he was right. I've only myself to blame. If I thought I could defeat him, I would have. But I didn't think I had a chance, and so I didn't. Ugh. His injuries are worse than I thought. We should hurry back to Mogholm. For a moment, I was certain he would fly into a fury. Could it be that he is grateful for the experience after all? Yeah, I mean, even with Laudy, I think there's some bit of solace in it. Then it was not in vain. Tired and broken though he may be, he is nevertheless better for the pain. And in time, we too may be. There is still hope. Redemption is not beyond us. Yeah, he always refers to us. It's never about him. And that's probably why when they ask about himself, his history and all that, there's nothing there. Or at least he would just be telling our story. I mean, if it is the case that they went back to kind of dealing with, you know, your inner self or another part of you or whatever, I find it interesting that they, you know, tapped into that well again so soon. I mean, they, you know, skipped an expansion, but it still seems like kind of soon. Or maybe it's just because it hasn't been that long since I've done it. On the bright side, you can't blame us for it this time. He will recover, yes? He'll heal, but I'm afraid it's going to take a while. The Mughals can probably help, though Sid would have to let them, and good luck convincing him. I'm afraid Riel is right. I'm going to need some time to recover. I'm not fit to travel in my condition. Which means, oh, gods help me. I'm going to have to stay with these furry little shites even longer. 2 more times, was it? 2 more times and we'll be finished with this boys' crusade. Not soon enough. Lavenza, be a dear and punch a Moogle for me, would you? Oh. This is a good quest. I like these quests. Thank you for watching this video. Tonight's stream was phenomenal. So we did the Dark Knight Stormblood quests and started into 4.1. And again, between the Dark Knight stuff and the Fordola stuff in 4.1, this was just with story tonight. Just a game. So yeah, if you enjoyed this and you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see this stuff live because it's amazing, Link to my Twitch is in the description down below. Thank you again for watching. Have a good one.